Welcome to Friendly Math 101. Today our lesson is on solving radical equations. Let's take a look at our first example. Our first step is to always isolate the radical. So we need to undo the negative 10 that's being multiplied, and to do that we're going to divide both sides by negative 10. We get the square root of x minus 10 equals 6. To undo the square root symbol, we're going to square both sides of our equation. On the left-hand side, the square undoes the square root, and we're left with x minus 10 equals 36. We're going to add 10 to both sides, and we get x is equal to 46. We do have to check to see if the solution works, so let's go ahead and plug it back into our original equation. When we plug 46 back in for x, 46 minus 10 is 36. The square root of 36 is 6, and 6 times negative 10 is in fact negative 60. So this is not an extraneous solution. It does in fact work. Here, the radical symbol is already by itself, so we don't have to isolate the radical. We need to undo it by squaring both sides of the equation. So here we're going to get x minus 5 equals 1, because 1 squared is just 1. We'll add 5 to both sides of our equation, and we get x is equal to 6. We still have to check to see if this solution works, so we'll plug it back into our original equation. 6 minus 5 is 1, and the square root of 1 is in fact 1. Let's take a look at one more example. This example is a little different because we have radicals on both sides. Since we can't isolate it, we're just going to square both radicals. And that will get rid of the square root symbol. So we're left with x equals 2x minus 6. This becomes a linear equation. We just have to subtract 2x from both sides to get our variables to the same side. That leaves us with negative 1x equals negative 6. Divide both sides by negative 1, and we get x equals 6. So let's plug it back in to see if it works. Here, when we plug it in, we'll get the square root of 6. On the other side, 2 times 6 is 12. 12 minus 6 is 6, and so we also get the square root of 6, and that, in fact, works. That concludes our lesson on solving radical equations. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave those in the comments section. For more math tutorials, subscribe to our channel, Friendly Math 101.